it's very different talking to an investor at the stage that we are versus the stage of what you maybe call friends and family or a seed stage round. Very different, where a seed stage might be still the potential or the idea or the team. Where we're being graded on our numbers, our results. So you can have all the charisma in the world, you can say this, you can say that, but your numbers do the talking. What are your numbers? How fast are you growing? How big is the market? The numbers are a huge percentage of it. So we were very fortunate. We have fantastic numbers. Our numbers were great. So that was a very big thing for us. And then over the years, I've been fortunate that I've had a lot of investors reach out, and I've been building rapport with folks all over the country, in California, in New York, here in Pittsburgh. And so I've been building and building and building that rapport. And the combination of those investors knowing me for a long time, plus great results, leads to the ability to raise a big round like we just completed. It all plays together, though. You can't just... These things don't happen by accident. They happen by very intentional, with very thoughtful results, with real relationships. Some of it is serendipitous. Some of it there's like a trusted source that's making an introduction for you. For example, one of my early investors, who's still our chairman of our board, Glenn Meekum, who founded a big company here in Pittsburgh called Free Markets, who's running forever today. The president of Carnegie Mellon, I had a meeting with him. He really liked what I was doing, and he introduced me to Glenn. So it was a very warm and validated relationship. And then I prepared like hell for that meeting. It was like, that was a great meeting. Glenn was a very successful entrepreneur. I wanted to take that meeting very seriously, but I was coming from a very trusted and validated place. Another time I was at kind of like an updated Carnegie Mellon. I was providing an update there, and I just got to talking to somebody, and they happened to be, a really successful entrepreneur that wanted to invest and support me. You don't know how some of these things end up happening. One of the things that a very smart investor once told me that I've taken is that one of the reasons that they invested in me and the company was that he trusted me. He said, "I believe you." And that there's a lot of entrepreneurs that talk a really big game and all this, I'm going to go change the world, I'm going to go do that. And they sometimes, I think, lose credibility and they lose trust. If someone's going to give you their actual cash and invest in your early stage business, they have to believe you, that you're a very high integrity, very moral person, that you're working really hard and you're going to do exactly what you say you're going to do. You have to treat your investors with utmost respect. And I think your credibility, and they're going to track you. So whether you meet them initially on July 1st, and then you come back to them on October 1st, they want to know everything that you've accomplished over the last 3 or 4 months and see if you've really done exactly what you say you're going to do. But your trust, your integrity, being able to follow up, doing exactly what you say you're going to do, they're all really important. When you meet that investor for the first time, they're not going to just take out their checkbook and say, here's $10,000. It just doesn't work like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe at the hottest, craziest deals in Silicon Valley, maybe, but that most people want to know you and they want to get to know you and they want to see the progress that you're making, and they build that over time and trust and integrity. And you need to establish that. And you need to say, I'm going to go build this website. I'm going to go build this app. I'm going to go sign up these clients. I'm going to go get these. And you need to go do those things and show them those things. And that will build that credibility. They're not expecting you to have $1 million in revenue to go get a $50,000 check. That's not how it works. But you need to know that you're serious and that you're taking this very, 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 you're putting all your focus on this and you love this and you're passionate about it. And then they're confident in you and that you're going to keep working really hard at it. If you were the investor and not the entrepreneur, how would you want to be treated, right? Or if you're the reporter at the media outlet, are you only talking to them just for that story, and then you never want to talk to them, and do you want to be treated just like a transaction, or do you want to treat someone where you really care about them as a person, you're being sincere, and you're building a relationship? I think one thing you can always do is you always try to make it a two-way street, and you're trying to help them. So if it's an investor or if it's a reporter, hey, let me tell you about some great ideas that I've really heard about. So they have some more ideas or some deal flow that they may be thinking about, or you're giving some keen insights. I'm really seeing this big shift in this market. This and this is happening, and you're giving them some value or some ideas. Or a reporter, you're giving them an idea, or you're introducing them to another person that's a really great person for them to interview. You're trying to give back and make their job easier and better, not just taking from them. So I think you always want to see if you can give and push it forward and be a help and a partner, and not just a taker. I think that's very, very important. You got to balance everything where, if you're building that app or you're building that website, you've got to go build that app, and you've got to go build that website, and you've got to go get those users. But if you need investment capital to hire someone, or to go get that first office, or to be able to go do this other thing, you need capital too. So you have to balance all of your priorities. So building the product is one thing, but managing all those external relationships, and you have to prioritize that as well. And sometimes that's why there are teams, and you divide and conquer. I naturally am probably a bit more external, where I like networking. I like meeting with partners. I like meeting with clients. I like meeting with investors. I like meeting with candidates to hire. I get energy from that. And I think other people get energy by being more internal and being more focused on what they're building. And so you have to figure out what your strengths are, what your passions are, and then you also maybe need a team to divide and conquer appropriately.